Hello Gemini, this is going to be your general tarot reading for February 2021. So this reading is for you if you have a Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Gemini moon, or Gemini Venus. And as always, as every reader on YouTube says, take what applies and leave the rest. This reading may or may not resonate for you. It might be one of those things where certain parts of the reading really resonate with you, but other parts don't. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't. And we'll just see what comes out for you guys for February 2021. If you're interested in knowing the decks that I'm using, the names of them are down in the description box, along with a timestamp for the beginning of this reading. You can just skip through this part entirely. I'm sorry, my dog's running around with a sock and it's being really loud. What was I saying? There's a timestamp down below in the description box that you can click on. It'll take you straight to the beginning of the reading. Otherwise, you can just hang out with me here. And happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate it. If you're having a good February so far. Sorry, these are coming out late. It's kind of hard to juggle parenting, jobs, actual making money, which so far this channel isn't really making me any money or giving me any customers, but it's a labor of love and I'm willing to stick it out a little while longer to see if things grow with it. I don't always, a lot of times I think I overestimate myself and I set goals for myself that in reality aren't really that realistic sometimes. Things come up. So hopefully you're okay with this being a little late. And I think in the middle of the month around Valentine's Day, I'm probably going to do something different, which is a check-in on all of the signs with little itty-bitty readings. And the dailies are still going to continue as well, if you would like to check those out if you don't already watch them. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me if you're a regular watcher. Okay, here we go. This is for Gemini for February 2021. 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. For some reason between your two outcomes, it seems like things are kind of up to you on how they play out or how things turn out in the future. All right. All right, let me pick another one to go with the top card and then I'll get started. Okay. So for your central energy, sorry, I have to clear my throat so much. I have a runny nose right now. Sorry, you guys. Okay, major arcana strength for your general or your central energy for February 2021. You're having to be strong, or you're having to stand your ground, or you're having to use your mental strength to stay focused, because there's a lot of things blowing around in the air. There's a lot of change, a lot of possibilities, potentials, but it's all up in the air right now. Nothing has landed just yet. There's a lot of movement, quick moving energy, possibly people coming in and out of your life. The winds of change are blowing. And with this, I got a little vision involving a house withstanding wind. When you build a fortress or a house or a safe space for yourself to be able to create, it's not until you get hit with a hurricane or a storm or heavy, harsh winds until you know whether your foundation is sound or not, or able to withstand fast-moving winds. You'll be able to tell, because things shake, things might tremble, things may sway, but it still remains standing and doesn't get too damaged. So I'm kind of getting this for you this month. It's important for you to, I got the words, dig in your heels to maintain your foundation, to keep going with the things that you've been creating, and you are strong enough to withstand change, storms, all manner of things that are trying to distract you, because you have focus. There might be a mess of revelry and things dancing around, possibly even in your own head, and distractions. Lots of things are happening. There's lots of motion and movement going on, so it's important for you to stay focused on what you're doing and to remain strong with your knowledge that you will withstand change at this time, or confusion, things flying around in the air, uncertainty, I guess, or just to also be flexible. This major arcana card is ruled by Leo, which rules the spine and the heart and the human body. Your spine has to be flexible in order to be able to carry heavy burdens, carry through with things that you're doing, to remain strong with what you're doing. It could also be that some of you are being distracted by a Leo, or a Leo is quickly coming into your life, or is passing through or visiting. And it's going to be important for you to balance different areas of your life where certain things don't fall to the wayside because of distractions. Your challenge is the Four of Pentacles. It might be that you are holding on too strongly, or you possibly might be being too stubborn. Sorry, you guys, you'll have to excuse me. I'm a Sagittarius rising, so I just tend to blurt out what I see. Sometimes I forget about being polite or not hurting people's feelings, but let's face it, we're all human. We all have different things going on with ourselves, so it might be that you're trying to hang on to something where you need to relinquish your grip on it. You might be trying to control a situation a little bit too much, or you want to see things come out with a certain outcome. And it might be that you need to loosen your grip and become a little bit more flexible and fast on your toes for whatever flies your way. If you try to hang on to what you have now too tightly, that is not freeing you up to be able to have your hands free, to be able to catch these new opportunities that are flying into your life. It might be saying that you need to focus on things differently than how you have been. Or it may be that you are challenged this month because you're trying to hang on to your resources, or you're afraid of your resources getting away from you or flying away. Maybe you've overspent on money, or you're realizing you don't have as many resources as you thought you did. So you're I'm almost getting a feeling of slight panic, of needing to hold on to what you have now, otherwise you might lose everything. But let me get more information on this. This could also be in a situation that you're having to deal with this month, where somebody else is hanging on to things too tightly, or an old way too tightly. Or perhaps your business is not bringing in as much, or your work is not bringing in as much money as you thought it would, and so you're wondering if you should hang on to what you have, or stubbornly cling to things the way that they are now, or if you accept the fact that change is occurring and you may feel temporarily disoriented. But if you go with the winds of change, it might take you to some unexpected good places. It might be that you want to travel, but you can't because of COVID right now, and so you're feeling trapped, or you're experiencing cabin fever of staying still in one place for too long. I know you Geminis like to move around a lot and like to go on little trips and like to experience many different things, and also you guys love talking and socializing, so it might just be that you're being driven a little bit batty because you are unable to express certain parts of yourself the way that you normally do because of circumstances. Let's see, maybe you feel tied down to a certain location when you really just don't want to be there. There's strength again. Look, it's hard for you to stay strong, or you're trying your best to be strong in a situation, but it's a little bit difficult. Look, you have two strengths. You might be trying to get a grip on yourself where you're not letting, because certain parts of you are frustrated right now. It might be that it's coming out in other ways, where perhaps you come off as being a little too strong at times, because I'm looking at the lion that she is gently closing the mouth of trying to let him know, behave yourself. And I'm looking at what looks like Godzilla in the background of this strength woman. You have an inner beast that you could unleash on people, or show too much of your strength. You're doing your best at keeping this aspect of yourself under control. It might be that you're controlling yourself a little bit too much, and you need to let this energy out in one way or another. It would be better if you let it out on some kind of creative project, or a creative thing that you're doing, that you're focusing on, rather than letting it out through things like getting annoyed with people, snapping at people, showing possibly being a little bit too bossy, possibly, or too strong. But this is what you are doing, and this is what is challenging. So you are strong right now. It might be sometimes that your strength wavers a little bit. Sometimes you feel really strong, other times you're not. You're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, possibly. Or you may have a lot of work to do, or a lot of things to do, and you need to gather up your strength to carry these things through, or to manifest these things fully, or to keep on going with them. But it kind of feels like you're being squeezed or something, or you're under some kind of pressure, and so you need to get this out, this energy that you have out, in constructive ways rather than destructive ways. Let's see. Or it could be saying that ultimately you have the strength to get through anything, including times of feeling trapped or bound. Let me find out more about that Four of Pentacles. Why are they in a situation like the Four of Pentacles? It might be time for you to accept the fact that it's just time to do things in a different way or to move on from whatever this is. It might have become too limiting. It's like you want to prove to yourself, it's like you put your heart into something and you want to prove yourself that you can make it happen or you can manifest it. But it's being squeezed and there's the winds of change are almost hinting at you that you need to be more flexible or you need to change direction or change something about this situation. But it's like you're stubbornly clinging to it, almost as if it doesn't work out, you're not strong, or you're a disappointment, or it's a loss for you. But really it's telling you that you either need to do things in a different way, or you need to be someplace else, or you need to move on from whatever this is. Whether it's work related, a relationship thing, a family thing, something that you're trying to produce or create, or something that you've been working on. It might be hard for you to relinquish something if you do get the message that it is time to go, or you can't continue to try to hang on to this. It's very hard for you to release it. Or it could be saying stick it out and wait a little bit longer. Try some different methods or different ways of seeing things and see if things adjust. It could be saying that for some reason some of you may be involved with someone who shows leonine qualities to them, and the person may prove to be a little bit too controlling, or you feel trapped in kind of a situation with a Leo, and so you're choosing to move on, but it's difficult to choose that because you already have existing structures built around this somehow, or have invested your time, energy, or money, or emotions into something, and so it's not easy to just let go of it. It could be that you want to move, but you're saddled with property, and you don't have the finances to be able to move right now. But what is helping you is the World, Major Arcana. So an old world is ending and a new world for you is opening up. You are leaving a long-standing, long-term karmic cycle of lessons, lots of experiences, lessons, blessings, everything that you have accomplished or built up until now. But it seems as though it's time to move on to another new long-term, years-long journey with a new world that is opening up. There is an emphasis in this reading of being flexible. It's important for you to move your body or to stretch your joints. Being physically flexible can help you to be emotionally and mentally flexible, because all of these things are related. You might want to start stretching or doing yoga or going for walks, or or dancing or swimming to kind of keep yourself flexible, so you can get through this time with ease rather than feeling conflicted over it. But you also may want to travel the world, you know. Let me pick more on that. Tell me more about the world as what's helping them. The good news is that the old is over. The old cycle is over, or it's in the middle of ending right now. And so everything that you have experienced up till now is about to change into a completely new experience. Or you have some kind of a culmination happening of a harvest of everything that you have put your energy into. And you're being rewarded by Saturn and the universe for all of the hard work that you have done on yourself, on your reality, on what you've tried to build, all the lessons that you have learned. Let's see. Tell me more about the world. That is an odd one. Okay, tell me more about this. Insight, parting veil. And how will this be resolved, or how will this change? Okay. How will this change in the 3D? In their everyday world? Yeah. Okay. This is a very specific message, so it may or may not apply for you. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't. I'm assuming that this is for someone at least. Otherwise, it wouldn't even come out. So, concerning what you have had to learn, as in karmic lessons that Saturn has thrown your way throughout the years over the past at least decade, if not longer, which you have learned, or you have finally accomplished learning this, and so now things are going to be different in the future. The lessons that you have learned is that perhaps this is delusion, false attraction. It could be for someone that the lessons that you have learned is that for whatever reasons you had karmic lessons, karmic reoccurring lessons that had to do with seeing relationships clearly or seeing people clearly. You may have I'm so sorry for being so blunt. I really love you guys. Just to remind you, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I don't mean for it to come off as being rough on you. It's just what's coming out. So for someone, it's saying you may have had obsessions or delusional, I'm so sorry, delusional attractions to people that where you weren't seeing them clearly. You may have had rose-colored glasses concerning people, or you were ready for love or wanted to feel love, so you just kind of snatched up whatever was around, only to be disillusioned later on and to feel tricked or feel like you fell in love with someone who doesn't exist, or someone disappointed you because they turned out not to be what you thought, but you were projecting possibly that they were better than they were, or you may have actually had to deal with this from others as well, where people for some odd reason have become obsessed with you, but they're not seeing you clearly, and so you may have gotten involved in relationships where things were not what they seemed, and you ended up being really disappointed. You have learned where this comes from within you, and you have learned on how to see things clearly. You have reached insight over this. You are seeing things clearly now. You are using discernment now. You're being more careful. You're choosing to see things, to really look at things for a good while to get a clue on what exactly is happening in reality here. You may have gotten involved in relationships that were Neptunian, where it's almost like you're under a spell, or you're enchanted, or you're in fantasy land, only to be brought down to reality with a crash on what it actually is. But you are more discerning now. You have learned the art of discernment. You are looking at things clearly now because you went through situations that were like that over and over until you finally grasped what it was trying to teach you. And before, you may have been intemperate with this, or attracted people with addictions, or who had a lack of self-control. Or you may have jumped into situations rashly without controlling yourself, or possibly relationships got completely out of control. There was possibly a lot of fighting, or this could be attracting people with addictions, or that have problems with impulse management. Isn't there a word for that? It's impulse control. Maybe you've attracted partners that had low impulse control, or you have had low impulse control with jumping into things because you believed in an illusion. But you are learning to, you have learned the lesson of manifestation, where now you're being much more discerning and careful about what you manifest. Some of you may be having to deal with repercussions of things that you have manifested in the past based off of Neptunian fantasy, or what you thought was happening. In which case you are learning the lesson now, and you are learning how to manifest exactly what you really want in the future. So this is all what's helping you. It's all over and done with. That's the extremely good news. All this is over and done with. You have learned your lessons. You've become wiser because of it. And because of it, it went from attracting delusion in the past to attracting insight and actual manifestation in the future that is real. So, and you have learned how to control yourself when you get really excited about those things, and to take a step back and really use your discerning mind and self-control, which is reminding me of this. This is self-control, but not too much control. You may have manifested situations in the past, or even now, where you have manifested something that you feel stuck in, but that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stick with it. You can move on and create bigger and better things in the future. So, at your root, or in your instincts, you have the Four of Swords. It's important for you to nap. It's important for you to rest. It's important for you to reflect, to take time out, to silence the mind, to meditate, or do whatever it is that brings you to that state. For some people, it's painting. For some people, it's creating something in the yard. It can be lots of different things that help you to calm the mind. It doesn't have to be taking naps, but naps would be nice too. Or just making sure that you're getting enough rest so that you can think straight. It may be that you need a break from all this. You might want to go away for a little bit, go on a little trip, or take some time out from situations that you've been a part of to kind of get your head together. And also to take care of your health and your body as well, and self-care. Tell me more about the Four of Swords. here we go again. Everybody has been getting this card in their generals for February. Seems like February, maybe it's because Mercury is retrograde. It's bringing up past things that people have to deal with, or past life patterns from past lives even. Okay, tell me more about this. Reflection, yeah. Okay, tell me why past lives is coming out in this. What is it about these past lives that is being triggered right now? Here, let me pick it from here. Provocation, challenge accepted. Male significator. Female significator, oh my gosh. What is the challenge that's being accepted? Okay, let me do one shuffle. I'll show you what I'm looking at in a minute. I'm just trying to get down to the bottom of it. I can't help it, I'm a Scorpio moon. I want to find out where it comes from. Okay. All right. Whoa. There's cards falling everywhere. Okay. All right. I may not be able to get completely to the bottom of it. And this is for a collective, so it's hard to get total specifics, but there's something coming up while Mercury is retrograde that goes pretty deep, and I tried to follow it down to the bottom, but it seems like it's endless. So it's important for you to meditate and reflect on past things this month, because with this you came out past lives. And it's interesting to me because there's two, you guys are the twins, and that's also where people come up with the name twin flames, is they're twins, they're the same soul, supposedly. This might have to do with a relationship, because with the past lifetimes you got, if I can hold them up, the male and female significator together, but look at how different they are. The feminine and the masculine don't seem on the same page with these two. It was an important relationship. It definitely has to do with past lifetimes or relationships in past lifetimes. It looks like the masculine version was a little bit too aggressive or too demanding or too strong or too controlling, possibly too angry, too much, too intense. And look, the feminine is so reflective and peaceful and contemplative. They seem like they would be able to balance each other out and give each other what the other one lacks, but at the same time they are so different it makes me think that perhaps there was a lot of conflict too, a lot of inner conflict on the behalf of the feminine. Because with these came provocation, challenge accepted, which is the tortoise and the hare accepting the challenge to go on a race against each other to see who would win. And obstruction, I can't even pronounce this. Obstreperous. I can't even say it. Personage, somebody obstructing, somebody getting in the way, someone stopping these two girls from being able to keep on going on their journey. There may have been challenges, there may have been obstructions, there may have been meddling personalities involved with these past lifetimes involving these people. And gender being used loosely here, you guys. This is including everybody, regardless of gender. But this is definitely a relationship with these two rabbits. It may have just proved to be really difficult in past lifetimes with relationships where there were constantly challenges, or you guys worked against each other at times that were obstructive to where you actually wanted to go together. Somebody may have meddled in the matter and made things more complicated. You might have lived out some of these themes this lifetime because of that. But you also have reflection and intuition. Both involve water, both involve sensitivity, both involve nighttime. Wasn't there something about nighttime in here? I can't remember. Maybe that was someone else's reading. It was reminding me of this too. It's like your best work is done at night. Your best spiritual work or releasing work happens at night. Or you may be having some important dreams that highlight certain things for you. Your intuition is extremely strong, and your ability to reflect into these things and kind of tune in will help you to find solutions to any problems or challenges that you face. It might be that relationships are different this lifetime because you are no longer willing to be subservient, or you want to be equals with someone, and you want to be able to show your own inner strength and your own personality rather than being overwhelmed by somebody else's personality. Or it could be flipped too, where either you need to become a little bit more forceful or you need to be a little bit softer, or attract a completely different kind of person from who you used to. If this didn't have to do, well, yeah, there's things in here to do with relationships, but it could even just be a thought process for you, even if you're not involved with anyone. You're just processing all of this past stuff and trying to come up with a sign or a dream or a vision on how things can be adjusted in the best way in the future. And also to trust your intuition. Maybe you were deluded before because you weren't listening to your intuition. And part of discernment is listening to your intuition. Those things are not separate from each other. So you're going pretty deep. It is important for you to rest, take care of yourself, and tune in. So you are coming away from something recently that was shocking, or perhaps something was destroyed that you knew on some level wasn't a sound foundation to begin with anyway. You may have suddenly become aware of something was shaken up. So let's find out. Major Arcana. Big things are being shaken up. It could be that big things are being shaken up for good reasons that will bring you good results, but it is kind of chaotic. If you look at why you have to be strong right now, is because there is, look at all this movement that's happening between these three. There's a lot of movement, possible chaos, a lot of change, and a lot of different things going on all at once. And it's been hard to focus, but you can summon up the strength and perseverance to be able to focus or to keep on going. But let's find out more about the Tower. Awareness. You're aware. You've had some kind of an awakening where your illusions have been shattered. Look, this is the first time I'm noticing this. All around this figure that's holding up the bull skull, there's broken glass all the way around it, as if a window has been shattered or a lens has been shattered. You have become dramatically aware of something that possibly may have been slightly shattering, but it's also shattering all of your delusions, all of your illusions, and all of the things that possibly you weren't seeing clearly before. You may be shaken outside of your box to seeing things in a completely different way than before. You may have even had shattered illusions about yourself that you are incorporating, dealing with, facing, and transmuting right now. This is amazing because it shows that you're evolving, and it shows that you are going through a huge breakthrough. It may be shattering, or it might feel shattering, or it might be sudden. And you might be feeling as though your foundation is being shaken up. But it's necessary because this is bringing you a new perspective, a new way of seeing things, and your illusions will no longer be able to control you or keep you under their spell. So, very interesting. All right. This is wonderful, you guys. I've been waiting to get to this card because the rest of this reading seems so complicated. Your best possible outcome is that your wishes are fulfilled and you feel incredibly happy, blessed, and like you have everything that you've ever wanted, or you feel blessed. Possibly you have had a revelry of dancing possibilities going on in your mind that vary everywhere from ecstaticness to downright fear of destruction, but it seems like whatever you have been worried about is nothing to worry about. Things will come out okay. You might be pleasantly surprised if you can relinquish the need for control right now, and I can see why you would be trying to hang on to control. I mean, gosh, when you're going through such a sudden, jolting breakthrough, or literally a breakthrough glass, I can see why someone would want to hang on to every little bit that they can hang on to just for a sense of security, or that you have something to cling to. It's like clinging to a rock in the middle of a storm out at sea. What else are you supposed to do? Drown? So I can see why you might be battling with and feeling a need to hang on, or to control, or to even be strong through this process right here. I can see why you would need to be strong and stay strong. But it looks like this change is necessary the winds changing, your need to move on from past karmic cycles are all necessary. And it's more important for you to be flexible, adapt to it, and accept the change rather than resisting it. Because if you can get through the initial chaos of it, it looks like if you go with change, it's going to take you to a really, really good place. So let's find out more about the Nine of Cups. What is making you so happy as your best possible outcome or your highest potential in this situation? Renewal. You might be extremely pleasantly surprised that things are headed in a much better direction than you think right now. And that some kind of a big blessing is on its way that's going to change a lot for you and make you feel a lot more renewed. Like you're escaping disaster or something, but in a really good way. You're being brought someplace that is much better for you. Yeah, you might be traveling. So your best possible outcome is that your wishes are granted, you're extremely happy and feel blessed. And you have more than enough. And also you have renewal and exploration. This could possibly be travel. It's definitely moving away from the past. It's moving on to a much better future. It is seeing things happen that leads you to believe you're headed in a really amazing direction. And once you close this old door on the old world and the new door to the new world opens up, you might actually be shocked at the directions that you're going in. And it's like you've come out of this state of feeling as though you're in prison. Where is it? This is very different from this. You're moving away. Same thing with this. You're moving away. Actually, these two remind me of your remedy for your challenge. And look, it's almost like you're being guided because this headless angel with a cage on its heart chakra with roses is being carried from a drab, dark city in a ray of light to a different place, to a more heavenly place, to a more color-filled place. The eagle is helping this spirit out. And this angel is helping this person in the boat by guiding them in the right direction. So it seems like your best possible outcome is if you just follow your own insights, follow the signs that you get, realize you are being guided here. You might actually have physical things manifest in your life that are part of this. Like someone comes out of the blue to give you an opportunity, or you're wanting to know how to move forward, or how you can travel, or how you can get to a better state of mind, or to better possibilities for yourself. And then somebody comes in quickly to give you opportunities that give you a way to be able to follow these dreams that you have. It looks as though you're receiving gifts for hard work done in the past. Yeah, all of these things are up in the air. Well, two of them are up in the air. There are all these opportunities available to you. So in the future, you have the Four of Cups. You're still in the middle of it, of this change of one world closing and another world opening up. While if you do find yourself in moments where there's not much going on and you don't have much to distract you, or in the times where you deliberately set aside to be able to rest, to get away from the madness, it's important for you to visualize what you want. Don't become discouraged and only think that certain things are possible for you. You actually have more possible to you than you realize. So it's very important to vision. This could be creating a vision board or a collage to represent what you want. This could be mantras or saying words out loud that say what you want. This could be visualizing and imagining what you want in your own head. It's important for you to do this because it invites it in. But don't become despondent with being bored with what is going on right now, or not being satisfied with what's going on now, because there are possibilities that are about to come in. You also need to have your eyes open for them for when they come. You don't want to be unprepared when it shows up. You know, those times where you wish and hope for something, but then because you become discouraged, you lose track of keeping up with like keeping yourself looking nice. Maybe your house gets trashed and you just don't have the energy to clean it. And then lo and behold, what you've been wanting shows up and your house is messy. Your sink is full of dirty dishes. You look like crap. So basically what I'm telling you is you need to get ready. You need to expect this. Act as if it is going to show up. And that way, when it does show up, you'll be in a much better position to be able to receive it. Don't lose hope in a situation. Just because things aren't happening right now doesn't mean that they're not going to happen. And so, but also, visualize. Spend this time preparing yourself for whatever your dream happens to be. This cup could be, you know more than me on what this cup is. It could be that you want love, or you want a new job, or you want to live in a new location, or whatever it happens to be that would make you feel satisfied. The only warning in here is that you need to get ready, because it seems as though your best possible outcome says it's going to show up. So just because perhaps you have battled with some things in the past where you have felt deluded, like something tricked you or it wasn't what you thought, doesn't mean that that's going to continue to happen, because it's part of your old world that's closing out. So don't base future expectations off of things that you have experienced in the past. It's completely new. Okay, I don't feel the need to pick anything else with that. And you right now are searching for the truth. This could be truth within yourself. This could be truth outside of yourself. You definitely are feeling a wanderlust or a need to have adventures, or to go explore, or to go find things out. Let me pick one more to go with that. Okay, let's see. Your divine calling. You're searching for meaning right now, or you're searching to be on a path in your life where you feel as though you are fulfilling your divine calling, or your calling in life, or you feel like you're doing something meaningful with your life. You're searching for your divine calling. You might have gut feelings or some visions of what you should be doing with yourself, but really the answers are within you. The answers are within you. If you search for the truth, you will find it. I would recommend you look at where your North Node is in your astrology chart. That'll tell you a lot about what you're supposed to be doing this lifetime. And you may have thought that your calling was something different than it actually is. You may be switching things around with your calling. You might be switching careers or switching around what you're doing with your life. But it's important for you to feel as though you're doing something meaningful and you're doing something that makes you feel like you're making a difference, or you are truly fully being yourself and you're living in your own truth. And also being recognized for your gifts as well, and being appreciated for what you have to give to situations. In your surroundings, it seems to me like you're kind of over your surroundings, and your surroundings have become a burden. I don't know if you need to move to a new home or a new location or a new job or whatever this is. It feels like it's just too much. Perhaps this has a lot to do with why you are feeling trapped and feeling like you have to be so strong this month. Just could be a general feeling of exhaustion, or just having too many things to do, feeling overwhelmed. Or possibly you are moving and you may not be getting the help that you need with moving all of the boxes or the things that you have. And you're trying to do it all on your own. Let's see. Might be that you're tired of being alone and you need some support. Don't be too strong. You know you're being too strong, or you're having to shoulder things all on your own. You should be able to have help, by the way. People should offer to help you move or help you carry those things. If you feel like you've been doing everything on your own, you just can't do that anymore. That's when, if you start having lower upper back pain, that's when you know you are too alone, or you're too isolated in what you're trying to do and you actually need help. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, or to lay those burdens down once and for all, or at least lay a portion of them down, a certain percentage of them down. Imprudence, home unguarded. You feel like you need to carry all this, otherwise who will do it? And things will be left alone and vulnerable to be taken advantage of if you don't do it all on your own, or you're the only one who's willing to do it. Maybe there's a single parent for someone and you're having to leave your child at home alone so that you can work, but you feel like you need more help and you can't do all this on your own. Reserve, complete unto oneself. Yeah, you might be too self-reliant, you guys. You might be too self-reliant. You might be too complete unto yourself. You may have learned how to carry heavy burdens and be able to withstand it, but that it feels to me like you need more help and you need support. And it might even be, for some of you, it might be a pride issue, where it's like you're admitting weakness or something by needing help or needing support, or having partners or having people in there with you. But that needs to change. It's good that you are complete unto yourself. It's good because you know who you are. You have self-confidence. You have self-worth. You have all those things. You're a competent, strong, amazing person. It's just you may have had to rely so much on yourself in the past that now you're not sure if you even remember how to accept help or to ask for it or to receive support. It seems like you feel responsible for everything, where you feel as though you're the only one who can actually do it. But I'm getting that you need to open up more and accept input from others, accept help from others, and also ask for it if you need it too. So, your hope. Your hope is that you are able to do anything that you set your mind to, that you are capable, you're strong, you're independent, you have talent, you have willpower. Your hope is that you will be able to persevere through anything, and it makes you stronger. Your fear might be that you are all on your own with this and you've become almost too independent, and you may need more companionship. And your general outcome is the Seven of Pentacles, which is being patient, waiting for things to grow, which is very, very different from your best possible outcome. So the reason why there's two outcome cards in this is that one is probably what's going to happen if you don't make an effort. And your best possible outcome is your highest potential in a situation, which generally involves your participation in it being able to be brought forth. So this is what's going to happen if you don't make an effort. If you make an effort, or if you allow your highest outcome to happen, then this is what's going to happen. So it's really up to you. It's up to you on what you choose to focus on or how you get through this month. But you have the great potential this month to have your wishes granted. Or you could end up still waiting. So let me pick advice for you on how you could bring this out more than just hang around waiting. It could also be saying that this is on the way, and while you are waiting, you need to get prepared. If you sit around, if you think that nothing's going to happen, if you think that you're just believing in pipe dreams or it's not going to come, then it might not. It might not come if you don't believe that it's going to, or if you don't make the effort and prepare yourself for it. If you sit around and feel sorry for yourself or get bored or feel like things aren't possible, then of course nothing's going to happen and you're going to end up waiting and remaining stuck in this state. However, if you believe that it's possible, if you prepare for it, make sure your house looks nice, make sure you look nice, make sure you're ready, so when it does arrive, you will be able to accept it, or it will come a lot faster if you believe that it will, or if you get ready for it, or if you accept the change that's happening now. This is reminding me of the world. The world, when you're dealing with Saturn, you have to prove to Saturn that you've learned a lesson before your new world opens up. Otherwise, you may find yourself in the same old world. While things are in motion, while they're in flux, while all these things are flying around in the air, realize that if you hold back, if you don't make an effort, if you fall back onto old doubts or fears, this keeps the new world from being able to open up as quickly. You're still moving on to a new world no matter what, but you can be ready for it or accept the change or to go with the change. If you resist the change, if you try to hold on, or if your joints are stiff, or if you feel like you're not able to move with the times, then it may slow down this process and it almost becomes more of an energy of like a breached birth where things are being delayed unnecessarily. And you're stuck in a place of waiting for this new world to open up. But if you can fully embrace it, if you can fully accept the fact that things are changing, and if you can visualize what you truly want, it will come. So it's really up to you. And hopefully this reading made sense or helped someone in some way. Hopefully it was for somebody. And I am going to pick one last card for you that's a nice, lighthearted, frou-frou message to kind of end an intense reading with. And I wish you guys all the best. I'm sorry if some things came out in that reading that sounded like you were being I don't know, taught a lesson by Saturn, maybe. Maybe I'm channeling Saturn for you. I do have Saturn conjunct my Sun, but I don't know why that one came out so strong for you. I wish you guys all the best and much, much luck to you. It's not every day people get the 9 of Cups as a best possible outcome. So, anything else you would like them to know or to think about? I don't know why those want to come out together. Wow. Nice, you guys. Wow. New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. And get to know each other. Learning to meet each other's need for love is important for a relationship to grow, which also means being able to be vulnerable with another. And it's funny, Neptune came out earlier too with like delusions or fantasies with relationships, but this is a very real kind of a Neptunian love. It's likened to whether or not you have your Venus squared to someone else's Neptune, to whether or not you have your Venus trine to somebody else's Neptune. Neptune does not have to mean delusion. It can mean romance and beauty and poetry. That is very real. It just depends on the dynamics involved. I'm saying all this because these guys are a merman and a merwoman, and he's holding his trident. Neptune does not have to be delusion. Neptune can be very real indeed. And make sure you get to know people or get to know a situation. Okay, good luck with everything, you guys. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon for the dailies. I'm also probably going to be coming out with mid-monthly check-in for all 12 signs in the middle of the month around Valentine's Day, if you would like to check that out too. Okay, bye.